West Ham return to Premier League action on Monday night as we host Brentford in what is going to be an amazing game. Welcome back to West Ham Unofficial. I hope you are all well. We've had a break and we are back full of energy and ready to go. Well, I am. I hope my guests are as well. Mike and Sam are with me. How are we, gentlemen?
Yeah, good.
Yeah, all good. Yeah, good, mate.
Good stuff. Good stuff. You're both oozing energy and I love it.
I don't know about
that. Brentford on Monday night, a game that is getting significant media attention. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Let's deal with the game first. Obviously, coming off the back of a defeat away at Arsenal, I just had to look at my fixture list to look at what game was last. It was that long ago. Feels like a million miles ago. Does that game, Arsenal away? And we come into this Brentford game, Nuno's first game in charge. Sam, how are you feeling about it?
Worryingly confident. It doesn't feel right as a West Ham fan to be confident, but look, we played well against Everton. I know it was an away game. I think Nuno's had 2 weeks pretty much with maybe not the key players. It's always like Bowen will have been away. Some of the other players have obviously been away on international duty, but with a lot of that team, they weren't away. So he's had 2 weeks with a lot of them. They seem to have settled on some backroom staff for now. And we've got some of those coaches have sort of stayed in from the under 21s and stuff. And again, that's going to bring some stability. They know the club. I think that's really positive. I don't think Brentford are that good. And I think those things combined, it might just be this is the home result to kickstart the season. But it feels massive. Relegation 6-pointer potentially.
Yeah.
And we've just done all right in those in the last few years. When we've had to win, we've ground out results. So, worryingly confident at the moment.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because you look at Brentford, Mike, and all of a sudden they're 16th in the league. They've lost their manager, they've lost Mbeumo, they lost Tony a couple of years ago. So it seems like that backbone that got them up to the Premier League and got them stable in the Premier League, it's disappeared, it's gone. Keith Andrews in charge. They've had a sort of mismatched start to the season. I was just going to say they've beaten Man United at home, but that's not really the big feat that it once was. They're a funny side and an inconsistent side at the start of this season, and this game could go either way because of the reality of how indifferent both sides are.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, we haven't been indifferent. We've been pretty poor at times. They've been indifferent. They've had a couple of good games. We haven't had many, have we? And if you'd ask me...
Always bring that optimism, Mike. Honestly, always the optimist.
Mate, honestly, if you'd asked me a few weeks ago when Potter was still in charge, I would have said we're down. We're going down for sure. This guy's turned up and he's put a little bit of positivity in me. He looks like he knows what he's doing. I mean, putting Potts back in, giving him a couple of runs. He knows the fans are going to get on side with him with decisions like that. Now he's appointing backroom staff from the youth set up. He knows what he's doing with that for sure. He talks well. He knows it's not an overnight fix. He knows it's going to take a bit of time. But I am, not quite as confident as Sam, but more confident than I would have been.
Yeah. And I mean, I think it's quite telling that you both mentioned in your opening statements about the appointment of the staff from the back room who were in the under 21s and who have already been at the club. So Nuno hasn't brought in his own specialist team. He's taken what's there, and fans have liked that. I mean, you both mentioned it there. Fans have been pretty positive about that on social media, and it's trying to keep and try and create a close-knit environment, which we once had. And you think back to the Nolan, Irvin, Nevin, Pearce, back under Moyes. That's what it makes me think of. Can we recreate that, or have we got a bunch of nobodies who none of us can name as our assistant goalkeeper, set piece coach, and all the lark that they have nowadays involved in that? So I think it's positive that he's done that, and I agree and I echo of what you both said in terms of that. That's good. let's try and relate that and translate that to performances on the pitch. It's a big game on Monday night, as you mentioned, Sam. Both teams struggling, both teams not where they want to be. We're at home, and there's not going to be as many people in there as Nuno will probably be wanting and hoping for. But there will still be people there, and it's regardless. It's his first home game. It's a massive game in the grand scheme of things.
It is. It's going to set the tone, I think, with the fans. It's going to set the tone for the rest of the season. We don't give managers very long. If we lose, we've got to at least lose with a really good performance. I actually think if we put a good performance in, we won't lose. Just because of the quality of the two sides. So it's a good first home game for him. I was still surprised at the timing of the Potter sacking. I know we had the Everton game, but that was almost a dead game. Like he hadn't had very much time with the team. So really, his first game was that Arsenal game, and that seems harsh on any manager with the way Arsenal have been playing this season. But this is the first big game that I think really the fans have got every right to judge him on what he's doing. He's had some time with the team. We've got, if we take Fulkrug out of the equation, and maybe we just should, full stop. But I think at that point we're almost fully fit. I can't think of another player that's out. I think it's just him.
I think.
Yeah. But yeah, it's got to be a game to judge him on, and it may well be that some of the fans that are a bit more negative not being there could go in his favour, because it could well be that if we do concede a goal, that the fans that are there might be the ones that are sort of going to try and rouse the team and rouse the players on the pitch. But I think it's a massive game for Bowen as well. He's got to show that he's got some leadership qualities, and I think if he doesn't, Nuno needs to be calling him in and going, look, this just isn't going to work. We need a leader on the pitch. You can be club captain, absolutely, because you are that figurehead, but we need someone different on the pitch. I don't know who that is, but obviously we're lacking. I think Souček's still out as well, isn't he, actually, for this game? Is he still suspended?
I don't know.
I'm not sure, but we need someone like that will just rile all the players up if it's needed. He's very good at that, Souček, but he's not.
Souček does return on Monday night. He's had 3. Yeah. So that's an interesting part to see whether Nuno incorporates Souček back in. We'll come on to specific players in a second. Just to finish this off, Mike, I just looked at our fixtures. Our next 4 games are Brentford, Leeds, Newcastle, and Burnley. Take 3 out of there. Brentford, Leeds, and Burnley are 3 of our 4 next games. Those are big games. Those are teams in and around us who are going to be in and around where we are towards the back end of the season. 3 games, 2 of them at home, 1 of them away. This is where we judge Nuno early on. How many points do you think is required from the 2 home games and the 1 away game, those 3 games against those clubs, for it to be deemed as a success to begin with for Nuno?
6 points.
6 points. I agree. Yeah.
As Sam said, the Arsenal game was basically, limit them, limit the goals we concede and put up a good fight. And
it was a complete non-event, was what it was. It was a complete non-event.
It was a defence against attack sort of training game, wasn't it, at the end of the day? But I don't blame him for that at all. That was a no-win situation for the bloke to come into. I mean, the Everton away, tough game as well. 2 tough games.
Got a point. Yeah.
Games with very limited time with the squad of players to do any sort of work. But I think now he's beginning to find out who can do it and who can't. And he's probably going to find out what sort of characters they are by now. He's going to know that. And I agree. Bowen does need to stand up, because this is the sort of game he can score goals in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Brentford are always under Frank. I mean, that long throw in was always a threat against us with the way we defended them, and we have defended better since Nuno's come in, and there's no about that. But defensively, they're not great. So it's a chance for Somerville and Bowen and whoever plays up front with them to shine. Really, it's an opportunity.
Absolutely, yeah. I'd echo the 6 points. I think that's a I think that's a fair
6 points
assessment to give, and it's 3 big games, because then all of a sudden you look after that and you enter Liverpool, Man United, Man City, and then we're at Christmas, and then we need to step back and go, if we're 17th at Christmas, we're like, blimey, how can we turn this around at that point? But specific players, Sam, you mentioned Fulkrug, he's out. Surprise. I'm going to say something rather cynical and say that I don't think that's a loss. I think he has been pretty ineffective in what he has provided to the team. So I don't mind it as long as Callum Wilson starts on Monday, but it begs the question, does Callum Wilson have 90 minutes in him? If not, are we going to have to sit through the pain of Bowen or Paqueta up front?
We saw Marshall, didn't we, in the last game?
Yeah.
And you'd argue he should have 90 minutes in his legs. Obviously, both those players will have been around the club for the last 2 weeks. He'll have had both of them in training. I think my money would be on Marshall ahead of Wilson to start the game. Just with whether it's come from Nuno, whether it's come from the board, whether it's come from sort of the fan meetings with the board, having all these under 21, under 20s managers and coaches involved, it's very clear they're going to turn to some of those youth players that those guys trust. And I think Marshall absolutely fits the fold for that. And you just imagine he'll have a bit more legs in it, and then you can bring on Wilson against a tired defence that you can sort of barge in a little bit, Antonio-esque. But I think it's more likely to be that way around than we start Wilson and probably have to sub him on 50 minutes, to then bring on the legs later on. But who knows? I think the other thing we could do is something around a false 9, but I don't think it'll be Bowen starting up top. I think he'll.
That's fair enough. In terms of Marshall, I mean, I completely forgot. My mind went back to the widespread shock in the away end at Arsenal when Marshall came on instead of Callum Wilson, and he got himself about. He wasn't amazing, but he did more than what Fulkrug did in the time that he was on the pitch, and he's got a bit of liveliness and energy about him. And with, as Sam said, with the incorporation of the under-21 coaches, I wouldn't be surprised either, Mike. I think it's a toss-up, really, but Wilson or Marshall for you?
I don't know. I think I agree with Sam. I think he might start Marshall, because obviously he's seen something in training that put him on in front of Wilson in the first place. So I wouldn't be shocked if he starts Marshall and then maybe, like Sam says, brings on Wilson at a later stage. I mean, there's not many other options than turning Bowen into, back into a number 9 again. Or
Mike, have you got your boots or not?
Oh, I don't know what else he could do, really. I think he's stuck then, isn't he, really? Because for me, Paqueta has not really been on it this year yet. And as a false 9, I just don't think he does it. The thing is, with Fulkrug, he hasn't been great, I admit. But he does fit the bill of the big striker that Nuno seems to like. So I honestly feel he's had a look at him. He knows he's injury prone now. They are desperate to get someone in to replace him in January, and I bet you that he's gone knocking on their door already and said, "We need a number 9." Full stop.
100%. Yeah, for sure. One to keep an eye on there. In terms of midfield, as we briefly referenced earlier, Thomas Souček back and available for selection in this game. So again, Nuno has another dilemma on his hands in terms of, does Souček come back in? Does he stay on the bench? Sam, I don't know, to be honest. I mean, you look at the midfield that he's got there, whether it's going to be Paqueta, Fernandes, and I feel like I'm missing somebody really obvious. Somebody help me out.
Magassa.
Magassa. So whether he's going to go Magassa or Souček, okay. Who would you go for, Sam?
I don't think Magassa's done much in the last 3 games, particularly. A bit underwhelming. I'm presuming he might have been away on international duty. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I don't even know what nationality he is, which is bad.
That's why I pay you the big bucks.
but yeah, I don't know. I think he probably likes a Souček style player. Just a bit of bite in that midfield, that then allows the more creative players to be that bit more creative. I think it also gives those different options from set pieces and those sorts of bits and pieces. He is that bit of brute force which we don't really have from the defenders anymore. Maybe Kilman when he fancies it, but yeah, I think I'd probably just edge Souček, but again, I reckon he will only get an hour, and then we'll bring Magassa on with some legs. But yeah, I reckon that way round.
In terms of the international players, it's actually more than I thought. So we had Souček, Bowen, Paqueta, Fernandez, Hermansen, Mavropanos, Diouf, Wan-Bissaka, and Marshall actually went off on international duty with Northern Ireland. So all of those players have come back in the last day or so. Diouf had quite a lot of success. I think it's with Senegal. I think he did quite well over there. I mean, a top player who we need to try and keep our hands on for as long as we possibly can. But whether, flying halfway around the world for some of these players is going to make an impact, but I don't know. I think he's just got to try and pick his best team, and whether that's Magassa or Souček or whether that's whoever, he's just got to go with what he thinks. And it could be critiqued, Mike, but at the end of the day, he's just got to go with it. He hasn't got a lot to go off at the moment, and we'll start to see his best team seep through in the next couple of games.
Yeah. I think most of those players. I mean, Bowen, what did he have? 50 minutes.
Yeah,
20 and a 30. I don't think Paqueta played a full game. Marshall played 15 minutes for Northern Ireland. Admittedly, Jake, like you just said, if they've flown, halfway around the world, that's a different thing, isn't it? So I don't know. They should be back, and they've got a couple more days, haven't they? Till Monday.
Yeah.
They've got a bit more
Monday
time.
night as well. It's a long way away.
Yeah, I mean, they've still got a bit of time to get over a bit of jet lag and get into a bit of training. So
back in your day, they just got on with it, Mike, didn't they?
Yeah. Used to get up, go to work, come home, boots on,
out you go.
You'd argue it's only Paqueta that would have the jet lag. Like, I think most Jif would have been the same time zone, maybe a European time zone. Yeah. So I don't think that's going to be a big issue. I think Hayes had a long flight, but Paqueta would be the only one with a big time difference.
Yeah.
And Sam only knows that because he's got a massive map next to him and he's just looked at it.
It's a map of England.
I'll cut that bit out. The world map. Right, no. Sam, you didn't have to do me like that. That was
you've done me.
Very true. That was naughty. Right, good evening to everybody. Thanks for joining us. 6 points minimum from those 3 games. Be lucky to get one. Always our beacon of optimism, Peter. Thank you very much for joining us. Not too bad, but I can't see Nuno turning things around with a squad that isn't up for the fight. Hopefully you can get the fight back into this team. Fulkrug, yet another poor signing to add to the rest. With him, you can't miss what he doesn't have. That I agree with. All our opponents are licking their lips at the thought of playing us. Fair enough. Irons, indeed. Good evening. We've got predictions already. Wow. Steady on. Is Ange going to make November? Oh dear. Just about, I reckon. Just about. To get to the worst player to have in a relegation battle. He's not the best. He's not exactly a team player, is he? But let's address the elephant in the room before we get on to predictions. This game is subjected to a mass boycott from the West Ham fans in response to the board's ownership of the club. It has had a lot of media attention. There was a rather uncomfortable conversation between Simon Jordan and Dan from West Ham Fan TV yesterday. It made my toes curl a little bit, the way that Dan got spoken to from Simon Jordan. It wasn't the nicest watch, and there's a lot of frustration, there's a lot of anger circling around the place. Now, irrespective of your decision, whether you're going to go on Monday or stay at home, whether you aren't going to go, either way, this is the beginning of a series of protests. As a sit-in for the Newcastle game and a mass protest for the Burnley game. I can sense, Mike, I'll start with you. I can sense things are changing. I can sense the frustration. I can sense that those upstairs don't like the heat being on them. What's your thoughts on the boycott and everything that's going to follow, Mike?
Well, I shall be boycotting, first of all. And I don't blame anyone who's going to the game. That's personal. Do you know what I mean? If you want to go and support the team. It's a shame it's Nuno's first game at home, because I would have liked to get behind the team. But honestly, I've listened to all these guys now, you know, the flag man, especially, what's his name, Paul, isn't it?
Paul Colborne, yeah.
Yeah, speaks a lot of sense. You know, it's going to be difficult to budge them. You know, Brady and Sullivan, they ain't going to want to go anywhere because they're making money at the club. They're still making money at this club. And they don't want to lose face. They don't want to go, really. But unless we do something, you know, just to make it uneasy for them, do you know what I mean? It's no good doing absolutely nothing. Otherwise, they think everything in the garden is rosy. And let's face it, it is not, full stop. So there's reasons, you know, admittedly, one day, because that stadium is there to stay, you know, we'll have to make it better. The fans will have to do that ourselves. But if we've got to go through things like this first, then be it. You know, then that's what we've got to do. You know, I'm sorry, you know, a lot of people might say, oh, you know, to be fair, Monday night is easy, isn't it, for a lot of people to say, no, I don't want to go. You know, I can't get some time off of work or whatever. And it's an easy thing to do. And they're selling these tickets cheap, you know, to try and get people in there. But I know people that have bought a ticket that aren't season ticket holder like me and are not going.
Yeah.
So that really proves something, doesn't it? It'd be interesting. I mean, the media want to dig West Ham out all the time. They love it. Yeah. They absolutely love it. We're an easy target for them. Sure. People like, I won't listen to TalkSport, honestly. The only time I'd listen to TalkSport is if we won 6-0 and see what they've got to say then. You know, that's why I won't listen to TalkSport. Joking aside.
You never have listened then, have you?
Joking aside, they just want to dig us out, and they're enjoying this so much because it's clicks for them, innit?
For sure. I'm going to go on Monday. I have my ticket, and I've decided to go. And I think it will be quite interesting to document what it's like and what it's going to be like. And I'm gonna, I'm going to be very honest, and I'll do a video and I'll do a vlog on Monday, and I'll show and document the impact of what it has. But the question I have for you, Sam, is that I guess the argument is we've won 2 games at home in 2025. We're approaching November. Do you think that let's just say 10,000 people not turning up, do you think it's going to make an impact on the pitch or not?
I think it could. I agree. I'm at the game as well on Monday, and the way I figured it is I've given the club my money either way, and not turning up to the game doesn't cost Sullivan, Brady, any of the shareholders any money. In fact, they probably make more money out of me not being there than if I turn up, because they don't get the money from the beer or the pies or whatever. That's all for London Stadium PLC or whatever it is. So I've given the club my money already. So why would I not go and watch a really entertaining game of football?
Say that with a straight face.
I couldn't do it looking at you either.
No, you couldn't.
I think it depends on who the fans are that are in the ground. I think the kids for a quid, I think, was announced before the boycott. It's been up on the board for ages and ages that it's kids for a quid, which I think is really good. And no matter what you think of the board, trying to get kids in, trying to get family in for the first game, for their first game is really, really important. To do that for a Premier League game, you have to say that's good from the board, no matter what you think of everything else. If we can get fans in that are going to sing the songs, that are going to get behind the team and are going to cheer for 90 minutes, whether it's 30,000, 50,000, 60,000, whatever, we've got a chance. I think if we have what we sometimes have, that what this has actually done is attract tourists, and what it's done is attract people that don't know the songs and aren't going to sing and are just going to sit there in silence, then it can have a massive, massive impact. As we know that when it's quiet, that ground, there's just nothing there. That everything gets sucked out of the whole ground. So I think it depends on who it is that's in there. I think it's a shame that they couldn't have swapped around the protest game and the keep away for the sit-in, because we've had a lot of games this season where everyone has gone by the 60th minute. And actually, if there'd been sit-ins, I'm not saying we'd have turned any of those results around, but it wouldn't have been so turgid in the ground as it was on the 65th minute against Chelsea. We played at home. We were
Chelsea or Tottenham.
And I'd much prefer that the fans turn up, they get behind the team, then they protest the ownership, they protest all of that at the end, and it's something that's really visible, than empty seats that ultimately a lot of those will be filled by the very people that the people are protesting against being in the ground that have sold their tickets to on the ticket exchange.
I agree. Listen, I mean, it's entirely, I'm not sitting here trying to, persuade somebody to do what they like. The fact is that it's a Monday night. There's a lot of people that wouldn't have bothered anyway. And I feel that the sit-in for the Newcastle game is a much better form of protest. That's my opinion. Some people might think that the boycott is a better thing. I think it's all good, and it will all cumulatively have an impact. I've got no doubt about that. I think it would be more beneficial if 10,000 stay in the ground for half an hour afterwards, after the Newcastle game, and protest in that sense. I will quite happily join that and document that. And it will be noticeable on Monday. I've got no doubt about that. But there would have been probably some empty seats, not as many as there will be, but there would have been some empty seats anyway because of the manner of the game and all the rest of it. So I say fair play to people that are going to do it, who were going to go and went, you know what, I'm not going to, and people that have got 15 quid in the pot and said, you know what, that's my stance, I'm not going to go, but I paid for a ticket. Brilliant, fair play. And everybody, I guarantee 99% of West Ham fans want the same outcome to it. People protest in different ways. People have their different opinions. But I think we've all got to unite around the same message, is that we need them gone, is the reality of it. And we can all unite around that. And in our own weird and wonderful ways, let's hope we can come to that conclusion. And that specific protest before the game at Burnley, that will be the big one. That will be the big and hopefully decisive form of protest and action to try and get some change out of it. But we'll see what happens. We'll see. And Mike, you'll be watching on the telly and you'll be able to look at that Billy Bond stand and see whether it's any different to any other week, and see what impact it has.
To be honest, Jake, the media are going to win, aren't they?
Yeah.
Because if we win, they're going to say, "Oh, those fans should have been there."
Exactly.
If we lose, they're going to say, "Oh, those fans should have been there for getting behind their team. They might have won." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever, the media are laughing, whatever we do.
Exactly.
But I think it's the thing of trying to get noticed. It's like me. I'm not going to be sat in my seat because I am not re-enlisting it.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to happen. Otherwise, they're making more money out of me. As
sure.
Like,
oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, at the end of the day, I don't want to cut my nose off to spite my face. I'm a West Ham fan. I've been following them for many, many years now, and I want them to win every game. I don't want them to lose ever. And I will get behind those players as long as I see those players rolling their sleeves up and having a go, and the managers, got the same attitude. Then great. I'm going to get behind them, but I can understand the protest and what it's all about.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
It is.
I think everybody, and this is,
it's
and this here, I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't miss a game to protest or boycott, but I would participate in a sit-in, and that's more protest to what I mean. I would like. I had my ticket, and I I thought about it long and hard, and I was like, do I sit on the ticket and sit here and watch it on the TV? Will it make that difference, or will I go and make my voice heard at the Newcastle game, and will that be better? Each to
It
their
could
own
be
at the end
better.
of the day, and
It could
that's
be better, Jake. Honestly, yeah, the sitting might work. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Are we? What time kickoff is that game?
2:00.
That's the trouble. If it had been the later game,
If it had been the later game, it'd been trouble. Yeah.
yeah.
But one thing we can all agree on is that where is it? That Jake will not be buying beer and pies on
What?
Monday. That
It's your turn. I think you said you pay me the big bucks now.
there will be a pint distributed if required. Is what I'll say.
Tap water, yeah.
Mike won't be there because he's boycotting. I
I'll
commend
be
you,
there for
Mike.
Newcastle. I come back off holiday on that day, mate. I'm going to the
Oh,
Newcastle.
Mike's 15th holiday of the year. He'll be there for the blimmin' Newcastle game. Mike, you are bigger and better than me, and I couldn't. I had my ticket, and I couldn't not go. I've decided to go, but I respect and I
respect what
fair
anyone
play to
wants
you.
to do. Honestly, if anyone wants to go and watch, I respect it. If people don't want to, I'll respect that as well.
Yeah. Predictions before we go. Let's wrap things up. Sam, what do we reckon?
I'm going bold. When do I not? 2-0 to West Ham.
A clean sheet and 2 goals. I want some of what you're drinking, Mike. Oh no, hang on. No, I say we haven't done this for a while. Right. Sorry. I am out of practice. I am gonna go West Ham 1, Brentford 1. I'm useless. Was it?
Yeah.
I haven't got it for a while. That's in. There we go. I successfully nicked Mike's prediction of West Ham 1, Brentford 1. I am too good. And now, Mike, you need to scramble and think of another one.
Well, I'll have to have the Desmond then, won't I?
2-2. There we go.
I think we'll get
2-0, 1-1, 2-2.
I think we'll get something. Yeah. I'd love it if we won. I'd be the first one cheering. Don't you worry.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Also, Sam said it earlier. A performance, I think, is what's needed in front of the home fans.
Yeah, for sure. And I am now going to head off to bed as I, do you know what? I was taking a mick out of people's holidays because I'm actually going to Milan tomorrow. But anyway, that's regardless of the point. But
there we go.
You're going to Milan for 2 days.
We are flying Saturday morning and coming back Monday morning. Yes. We are going to the San Siro to watch AC Milan versus Fiorentina on Sunday night. That's the purpose of our trip. And to take off the San Siro before they knock it down. So
there we go.
You couldn't do that when I was a student.
Here we go.
Life has changed.
Yeah, things are definitely
even
changed.
Sam's using the back in my day now. Blimey.
This is those big YouTube bugs.
Day trip.
Don't start. So Sunday night San Siro, Monday night London Stadium. Try and find me a bigger contrast if you can try. And then with uni, I'm actually going to Stevenage on Tuesday. So I've got San Siro, London Stadium, Stevenage. What about that?
This gets better and better.
It gets better. What a life! What a life I live.
Get around, Jay, don't you?
I do. If you are at the game on Monday, I will see you there. I can't promise I'll buy you a pint, but I might buy Sam one. It depends how generous I'm feeling. And listen, I'll do an honest vlog of the game. I will show what it's like and whether I feel it's made an impact. So that could all be rather interestingly on your screens on very late Monday evening. Monday morning, there will be a San Siro vlog as well. Let's see what the atmosphere is like at the San Siro compared to the London Stadium. I think I can probably give you the answer to that. But Sam and Mike, thank you very much indeed for joining me. We're out of action with the preview, but we're back into it now. So thank you very much.
No problem, mate.
From us, come on your lines, and we will see you soon here on West Ham Official. Thank you very much, and bye-bye. Cheers, boys.